Oak trees have acorns, and acorns are a great survival food, but you can't just crack these open and eat them. They have tannic acid in them, so you have to leach that tannic acid out. You can boil it or soak them in cold water. Soaking them in cold water takes longer, but you can preserve the carbohydrate, the starch that's in the acorn. So you can use that flour to cook with. If you boil it, it's going to destroy the starch, but you can get the tannic acid out quicker, and you can still use it as a soup thickener or do different things with it. But if you're going to bake with it, it needs to be cold washed. So what will happen is you soak the acorns in water or boil it, and the water will change color. That's the tannic acid leaching out. You pour that off. You may have to do several changes of water until the water is finally clear. Once you've done that, you've leached most of the tannins out. This is a bur oak, one of the largest acorns that we have in the United States, and it has the least amount of tannic acid, so it would be a great source to make flour out of because the nut itself is huge. Here's the flour ground up, looks like by hand because it's got some fairly large pieces in it, but you could use that. It'd be hard to use this for baking needs, but you could use it. It'll store for a long time as flour, and that's the advantage of an acorn, is until you crack it open, it'll store for a long time. Here's a primitive way to grind up the flour. And so it's going to be really hard to get it really fine for baking needs, but you can do it. These are live oak acorns, and they have the most tannic acid in them, so they would be the least desirable because they're so small and they have a lot of tannic acid, so take a lot of processing. So here is acorn flour, but you'll probably need a mill to get it this fine. It'd be hard to do by hand. Not impossible. It can be done by hand, but it'd be difficult. And so here's a mill. Obviously you can't do that out in the wild. You would have to grind it up like the other example that I showed you. But bur oak is going to be your best choice because of the size and the least amount of tannic acid.